They called him useless, a boy with no money, no connections, and a broken phone. But a few years later, the same people who laughed at him were standing outside his office asking for work. Yusuf grew up in a small neighborhood where almost everybody struggled to survive. Every day felt heavy. The streets were filled with young people with dreams, but no opportunities. Most spent their time sitting outside shops, talking about football, politics, or the future they wished they had. Yusuf was one of them. At 19 years old, he had already started losing hope. He watched his mother wake up before sunrise every morning, exhausted from trying to take care of the family. His father worked hard too, but the money was never enough. Sometimes they had food, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes the electricity disappeared for days. Sometimes they borrowed money just to survive the week. Yusuf hated feeling helpless. He wanted to become successful. He wanted to help his family. He wanted to change their life forever. But there was one problem. He had no degree, no powerful relatives, no money to start a business. And slowly, he started believing that maybe success was only for other people. One hot afternoon, while sitting outside a small tea shop with his friends, the conversation turned into jokes about rich people online. One of his friends laughed and said, "People say you can make money from the internet. Maybe next they'll say phones grow money from trees." Everyone laughed. Yusuf laughed too. But later that night, something unexpected happened. As he scrolled through Facebook on his old cracked phone, he saw a short video of a young man explaining how he learned video editing online and started earning money from clients around the world. The man said something Yusuf never forgot. "You don't need perfect conditions to start. You just need consistency." That sentence stayed in his mind all night. The next morning, instead of wasting time online like usual, Yusuf searched how to learn video editing for beginners. At first, it felt impossible. The tutorials were confusing. The apps crashed constantly. His phone overheated after a few minutes. But something inside him refused to quit. Every single day, Yusuf practiced. Morning, afternoon, night. He downloaded free editing apps and watched endless tutorials. He studied transitions, text animations, color grading, sound design, hooks, storytelling. While his friends played games and wasted hours outside, Yusuf locked himself in a small room, learning a skill nobody around him understood. And honestly, his first edits were terrible. The text looked ugly. The timing was bad. The music didn't match the videos. When he proudly uploaded his edits online, people mocked him. Some comments said, "This looks horrible. You'll never succeed. Stop embarrassing yourself." Even relatives questioned him. One uncle looked at him and said, "You spend all day on that phone and still have no money. Go find real work." That sentence hurt deeply. For a moment, Yusuf almost quit. He looked at his cracked phone screen and thought, maybe they're right. But then he remembered his mother. He remembered the stress in her eyes every time bills arrived. He remembered the nights she pretended she wasn't hungry so her children could eat. And Yusuf made a decision. He would continue no matter how long it took. Months passed. Slowly, he improved. His edits became cleaner. His storytelling became emotional. His videos started getting views. For the first time, strangers online began complimenting his work. One day, a small business owner messaged him, "Can you edit videos for my business page?" Yusuf's heart started racing. This was the opportunity he had been waiting for. The client asked, "How much do you charge?" Yusuf froze. Nobody had ever offered to pay for his skill before. He was nervous, but he accepted the project. For nearly 14 hours straight, he worked on that one video. He changed every transition multiple times, adjusted every sound effect carefully, re-edited scenes again and again until everything felt perfect. When he finally sent the video, he couldn't sleep. He kept checking his phone every few minutes, waiting for a response. Then the notification arrived. "This is amazing. I love it." And a few minutes later, the payment arrived. Yusuf stared at the screen in disbelief. It wasn't a huge amount of money, but to him, it felt like proof that his life could actually change. That night, he gave part of the money to his mother. She looked confused and asked, "Where did you get this?" Yusuf smiled and replied softly, "From my skill." His mother started crying, not because of the money, but because for the first time in years, she saw hope in her son's future. After that moment, Yusuf worked harder than ever before. One client became two, two became five, five became 20. Soon, he was editing videos for creators, businesses, and influencers from different countries. He upgraded his internet, bought a better phone, then finally purchased his first laptop. The boy who once struggled to buy mobile data was now making more money than he ever imagined possible. But the biggest change wasn't the money, it was the confidence. For years, Yusuf believed he was unlucky, that he was trapped, that success belonged to people born into better lives. But learning one skill changed the way he saw himself forever. Years later, Yusuf opened a small media agency. He hired young people from his neighborhood, the same place where people once laughed at him, and something unbelievable happened. The same people who mocked him before now came asking for advice. "Can you teach me editing? How do I start online work? Can you help me change my life too?" Yusuf never insulted them back, because he understood something important. People laugh at dreams they don't understand until those dreams become reality. And one evening, while sitting beside his mother in their new home, Yusuf looked around quietly. No more unpaid bills, no more darkness during power cuts, no more hopeless nights. All of it changed because one young man decided to learn a skill online instead of giving up. So if you're watching this right now feeling stuck, listen carefully. You do not need perfect conditions to start. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need rich parents. You do not need everybody to believe in you. Sometimes all it takes is one phone, one skill, one decision to stay consistent. Because the life you dream about can begin with one small step today.